American armored column crosses border. 140 tanks and fighting vehicles penetrate 12 kilometers into Iranian territory, creating ground war nobody wanted. Thursday, 5:47 a.m., Iraq-Iran border. American armored task force assembled overnight in staging area 15 miles from Iranian border. Task Force Saber, 92 M1A2 Abrams tanks, 48 Bradley fighting vehicles, 12 M109 Paladin howitzers, supporting logistics. Total, 2,400 personnel. Orders received at 4:14 a.m. Advance into Iranian territory. Engage military forces on contact. Secure positions 12 kilometers inside Iran. Authorization came from CENTCOM with presidential approval. Commanders brief troops, explain mission, acknowledge significance. First American ground invasion of Iran since 1979. At 5:47 a.m., lead elements crossed border. No declaration, no warning. Ground war began without diplomatic notification or opportunity for Iranian withdrawal. American doctrine emphasized surprise and speed over traditional warnings before invasion. Task Force Saber advanced rapidly through border region, destroyed Iranian border posts, engaged Iranian Revolutionary Guard forces attempting response. By 8:34 a.m., American armor penetrated 12 kilometers inside Iran, established defensive positions, destroyed 47 Iranian vehicles, killed 240 Iranian soldiers. American losses: 3 Bradleys damaged, 11 soldiers wounded, 0 killed. Thursday demonstrated American armored warfare capabilities, but also created strategic crisis. Ground forces on Iranian soil, Iranian sovereignty violated. Domestic Iranian politics demanded response. Regional nations calculated implications. Everyone understood American tanks entering Iran changed war fundamentally from naval and air operations to ground invasion with unpredictable consequences. That's Thursday when armor crossed, creating ground war. American preparation began days earlier with intelligence identifying optimal invasion route. Mountainous border region with limited Iranian defenses, roads adequate supporting armor, terrain favoring American technological advantages. Target selection attempted minimizing Iranian resistance while achieving strategic message that American forces could invade Iranian territory whenever authorized. Route selected balanced military feasibility with political messaging, demonstrating capability without triggering maximum Iranian retaliation, hopefully. M1A2 Abrams performance was decisive throughout operation. 92 tanks advanced rapidly. Thermal sights dominated engagements. Fire control achieved first-round kills consistently. Armor defeated Iranian weapons. Tank crews reported multiple RPG and anti-tank missile hits, achieving no penetrations. Abrams' survivability enabled aggressive tactics, made exploitation rapid. Iranian forces equipped with T-72 tanks and older systems couldn't match American technological superiority. Every engagement favored American armor decisively through protection, firepower, mobility advantages Iranian forces couldn't counter with available equipment and training. Bradley fighting vehicles provided mechanized infantry support. 48 vehicles carried American infantry advancing under armor protection. 25 mm autocannons suppressed Iranian positions. Tiao missiles destroyed Iranian armor. Protected mobility enabled rapid advance. Iranian forces with truck-mounted infantry couldn't match American mechanized capabilities. Combined arms integration was professional throughout operation. Armor and infantry worked seamlessly, exactly what American doctrine prescribed. Iranian forces struggled coordinating basic responses. What's your assessment? Type A for American ground invasion being justified military operation. Type C for invading Iranian territory, crossing unacceptable lines regardless of justification. Comment your analysis. Border crossing occurred 5:47 a.m. at 3 points simultaneously. Northern column, 30 Abrams. Central column, 42 Abrams. Southern column, 20 Abrams, each supported by Bradleys and artillery. Simultaneous crossing prevented Iranian forces concentrating defense, spread Iranian responses across multiple locations. American doctrine emphasized dispersion for survivability while maintaining coordination for effectiveness. Iranian border forces were overwhelmed at all 3 crossing points within 18 minutes. American armor advanced rapidly before Iranian reinforcements arrived. Iranian resistance began immediately but was ineffective. Revolutionary Guard border forces engaged American armor with available weapons. RPGs bounced off Abrams armor harmlessly. Anti-tank missiles were defeated by active protection systems or armor. Iranian small arms were completely ineffective against armored vehicles. Border posts were destroyed. Iranian forces withdrew or surrendered. Some fought to death. Most recognized futility and retreated seeking reinforcements. Initial Iranian resistance killed 0 Americans, wounded 11, damaged 3 vehicles, none seriously. American firepower killed 89 Iranian border guards in first hour. Subscribe now for complete ground invasion analysis explaining how American armored forces crossed into Iran and strategic crisis this created. This breakdown reveals ground warfare implications other coverage won't address comprehensively. Iranian reinforcements attempted counterattacking at 7:23 a.m. Revolutionary Guard mechanized brigade deployed from garrison 30 miles distant. 60 Iranian vehicles, including T-72 tanks and BTR armored personnel carriers. Iranian forces attempted standard Soviet doctrine counterattack, massed formation approaching American positions. American forces detected Iranian reinforcements through drones and satellite intelligence, prepared defensive positions. Apache helicopters engaged Iranian column at 15 kilometers. Hellfire missiles destroyed lead vehicles. American artillery engaged at 12 kilometers, destroyed additional vehicles. Iranian formation reached American tanks at 8 kilometers. Abrams engaged at maximum range, destroying Iranian armor before Iranian weapons were effective. Iranian counterattack was destroyed completely. 54 of 60 vehicles destroyed or disabled. Remaining Iranian forces withdrew. American positions consolidated. Subscribe now for complete ground invasion analysis explaining how American armored forces crossed into Iran and strategic crisis this created. This breakdown reveals ground warfare implications other coverage won't address comprehensively. Air support protected American advance throughout operation. F-16 fighters provided combat air patrol. Apache helicopters engaged Iranian ground forces. A-10 attack aircraft destroyed Iranian armored vehicles attempting to reinforce. American air superiority was complete. Iranian Air Force didn't challenge American aircraft. Revolutionary Guard attempted engaging American helicopters with surface-to-air missiles. Shot down 0 American aircraft. Lost 17 helicopters to American air defenses. Air support advantage enabled American ground operations proceeding without significant air threat. Intelligence preparation enabled optimal tactical execution. American satellites mapped Iranian positions for weeks. SIGINT intercepted Iranian communications revealing force dispositions. Drone reconnaissance confirmed current deployments. Comprehensive intelligence picture led American commanders planning invasion routes, avoiding major Iranian concentrations while targeting vulnerable sectors. Iranian intelligence couldn't detect American preparations adequately, couldn't position forces optimally. Intelligence asymmetry enabled American surprise achieving tactical success. Logistics sustained American advance through pre-positioned supplies. Fuel trucks accompanied armored columns. Ammunition was adequate. Water and food for 2,400 personnel for 3 days. Medical support included forward surgical teams. Everything required sustaining forces inside hostile territory was provided. Iranian forces couldn't sustain equivalent operations. Logistics were inadequate supporting counterattacks. American logistics advantage enabled operations Iranian supply systems couldn't match. Communications superiority enabled American coordination. Encrypted radios functioned perfectly despite Iranian jamming attempts. American forces coordinated across 3 columns efficiently. Iranian communications were disrupted by American electronic warfare. Iranian commanders couldn't coordinate responses effectively. Communications advantage made American operations systematic, while Iranian responses were fragmented and uncoordinated. Technology gap was overwhelming throughout operation. American thermal sights enabling engagement at ranges Iranian systems couldn't match. Fire control computers achieving first-round hits. Armor protection defeating Iranian weapons. Mobility enabling rapid maneuver. Training enabling effective employment. Every technological comparison favored American forces when operated by professional soldiers against Iranian forces using obsolete equipment inadequately. Casualties reflected technological and tactical disparities. Thursday operation killed 240 Iranian soldiers, wounded 680, captured 140. American forces lost 0 killed, 11 wounded, 3 vehicles damaged, none destroyed. Exchange ratio was overwhelming. Demonstrated American ground combat superiority when forces engaged directly. Iranian forces fought courageously with available resources. American forces fought professionally with overwhelming advantages. Iranian leadership was briefed at 8:47 a.m. Tehran time. Reports showed American ground forces inside Iranian territory. 240 soldiers killed, territory occupied. The briefing created worse crisis than previous engagements. This was invasion. American boots on Iranian soil. Emergency meeting convened. President informed. Response options debated. Ballistic missile strikes on American bases. Comprehensive military response. Escalation to attacks on American regional allies. Every option meant expanding war significantly. Domestic politics demanded strong response. Iranian public wouldn't accept American tanks on Iranian soil without massive retaliation. Regional reaction was divided and concerning. Iraq protested American use of Iraqi territory staging invasion. Saudi Arabia quietly supported but worried about Iranian retaliation. UAE increased defenses. Kuwait went to high alert. Bahrain reinforced American-based security. Israel monitored situation. Everyone understood American ground invasion would trigger Iranian responses affecting entire region. Regional stability depended on preventing escalation. Nobody could control once started. International condemnation was immediate and widespread. Russia condemned American invasion. China criticized violation of sovereignty. European allies were divided. Some supported, others questioned. UN Security Council called emergency session, achieving nothing. International law clearly opposed invasion without provocation or UN authorization. American justification cited Iranian attacks on American forces. International community remained skeptical. Legal arguments mattered less than political realities. American political leadership faced questions domestically once invasion was acknowledged. Some praised decisive action, others questioned ground invasion wisdom. Congressional authorization questions arose. Legal justifications were debated. Strategic wisdom questioned. Domestic politics divided when American forces invaded foreign nation without imminent threat. Thursday's operation created political controversies beyond military success. Technology demonstration throughout Thursday validated American ground combat systems. Abrams proven in combat against Iranian forces, Bradley's effective, artillery precise, helicopters deadly, coordination professional. Everything worked as designed. Iranian defenses shown inadequate against American ground forces employing combined arms professionally. Training differences showed in engagement outcomes. American soldiers trained extensively, executed mission professionally, adapted to circumstances. Iranian forces with adequate training fought bravely, but couldn't match American tactical proficiency. Training quality gap multiplied technological advantages, creating overwhelming American superiority. Future operations implications were significant. American forces established positions inside Iran could advance further if ordered. Demonstrated capability conducting ground operations Iranian forces couldn't prevent, but also created strategic liability. American forces inside Iran were targets for Iranian missiles and attacks. Logistics lines extended into hostile territory. Strategic implications exceeded tactical success potentially. Alliance implications concern nations hosting American forces, American invasion from Iraqi territory, staging through regional allies, made allies targets for Iranian retaliation. Alliance relationships tested by American actions, creating risks allies bore without controlling decisions-making. Media warfare after invasion shaped narratives. Americans showing military success, Iranians showing territorial violation, international media attempting balance. Information warfare affected domestic and international support both governments needed. Iranian ballistic missile forces activated Thursday afternoon. DF-21 equivalents preparing strikes. Targets included American forces inside Iran, American bases throughout region, Regional allies. Missile threat was immediate and serious. American Patriot batteries prepared. Regional defenses activated. Everyone understanding Iranian missile response was coming inevitably. Diplomatic efforts began preventing further escalation. European allies urged restraint, offered mediation. China called for withdrawal. Russia demanded American forces leave Iranian territory. Diplomatic pressure mounted on both sides. Question was whether diplomacy could prevent military escalation. Both sides prepared executing. Chinese observers noted implications for Taiwan scenarios. If Americans invaded Iran despite international condemnation, might do same supporting Taiwan. Chinese strategic planning adapted based on American demonstrated willingness, conducting ground invasions when deemed necessary. Russian reaction calculated. Publicly condemned invasion while understanding ground realities, where superior forces win battles. Russian doctrine would incorporate lessons about American ground combat capabilities demonstrated Thursday comprehensively. Historical context showed American ground invasions historically triggered prolonged conflicts. Iraq, Afghanistan. Precedents suggested Thursday's operation beginning, not conclusion. Ground wars were easier starting than winning. History suggested caution American planners perhaps didn't fully consider. Thursday at 5:47 a.m., American armor crossed into Iran. By 8:34 a.m., forces penetrated 12 kilometers. 240 Iranians dead. American positions established. Strategic crisis created. Ground invasion demonstrated American capability, conducting decisive operations Iranian forces couldn't prevent. Also created liability. Targets for Iranian retaliation, logistics challenges, political complications, strategic implications exceeded tactical success. Technology worked. Training succeeded. Strategy remained uncertain. Whether invading Iranian territory served American interests depended on Iranian responses and regional reactions nobody controlled. Ground war begun. Escalation probable. Consequences unpredictable. That's Thursday when American tanks entered Iranian territory, creating ground war-changing conflict from limited strikes to invasion with implications extending far beyond immediate battlefield to regional stability and potential wider war nobody wanted but both sides contributed to through decisions and actions spiraling beyond diplomatic control once American armor crossed border Thursday morning. Will Iran escalate to comprehensive war or accept limited invasion? What happens next? Comment predictions. Your engagement determines coverage. Every comment, every like, every subscription. Enable notifications. Ground war continues. More operations possible. More escalation likely. This channel tracks everything. Every advance, every response, every implication. Thursday showed ground invasion realities. You understand exactly what happened. Subscribe for comprehensive continuing ground war coverage.